Greetings, fellow DC superfans. After getting educated in all things DCAU Batman, I've decided it's time to embark on a journey to the Arctic to learn about Superman, the animated series. Aiding me along the way is Blue Dragon 5.
That's right, folks. Like Jor-El, I'm serving as Tiki's pre-recorded guide through Superman, the animated series, with the goal of shedding light and showing Tiki the way to better understand the history of the last son of Krypton.
So let's fly to the Fortress of Recaps and talk Ghost in the Machine. That's right. It's season 2, episode 14. This is a big one, Dragon. You've been hyping this one up, and I gotta say, definitely lived up to the hype. Definitely, this arguably, Dragon. I don't want to say that this is like my absolute number one favorite episode because I'd have to kind of reevaluate, go over some of my other favorites. What I will say, sir, the animation in this episode, and I looked it up, and I know why. The animation in this episode is fucking phenomenal, dude. Not only that, I love the animation. I love, we are peak levels of sass with both Superman and Clark Kent in this episode, and I fucking love that. It's a great character study for Lex Luthor. It's arguably maybe a cool kind of blueprint for what they could do with the Superman sequel. So yeah, I'm all on board, dude. This was a genuinely a really great one for sure. Pretty much a perfect episode as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's a Hall of Famer for sure. So, the background on this, this was directed by Hiroyuki Aoyama, who did Two's a Crowd, did the which was the Parasite kind of he had a brain buddy episode.
And that's exactly why I said when I did my research, I was like, oh, that checks out that the animation looks so good.
Yeah. So this was written by Rich Fogel. Of course, Rich Fogel did Stolen Memories, the Brainiac introduction episode, and just to tie it in with something, down the line, he did the Twilight episode of Justice League, which basically brought Brainiac. It was a big Brainiac episode as well.
Cool.
So the studio that worked on this, in conjunction with our director, the studio worked on this was TMS, baby. TMS!
Hell yeah.
Of course, the studio that brought us The Way of All Flesh, made a lot of my favorite episodes. The Way of All Flesh, A Little Piece of Home, being the top two.
Essentially also the blue meth of the DCAU animation studios, from what I can remember.
Without question, yes.
Yeah.
Also did one of your favorites, The Promethean.
Oh, sure, of course.
And recently did Solar Power, the big Luminous episode. So again, TMS, just great track record. All right, so there's a little bit of context, not a lot. So the main beats I want to hit here are, so this was the big Brainiac return episode. We did our big introduction of Brainiac, and this is the first time we brought him back, and it's the idea that he can reconstitute himself from any little, he always finds a way to come back, that Brainiac. And this was the first time we really put that into practice in a really interesting way. Ultimately, this episode was in part designed to flesh out Mercy, which we add her. She's an original character for the show. In essence, kind of the Harley Quinn of Superman the Animated Series, even though Livewire got a little bit more of the limelight. But Mercy was very much added to the comics and everything, from then on. So the animated series does have a big stamp there, because basically when we phased out Miss Tessmacher, we had Mercy, and then of course the worm has kind of turned in the later years. Now we have Miss Tessmacher back, and Mercy not so much. Technically, Mercy did make the cut in one of the live action films, but in a very forgettable way. She was in BVS.
Oh, was she really?
Sadly, yes.
To be fair, Dragon, giant air quotes around this name, okay?
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen was in PBS.
That's what I mean. And I want to say, I could be wrong here, I want to say she also got killed unceremoniously.
Dude.
And here's the thing, if she was killed, if I'm right about this, I'm pretty sure I am, she was killed in my least favorite scene in that movie. She was killed during the whole, all the build-up. Remember, he goes to the courthouse. Yep, the Granny's Peach tea scene, because I want to say I forget if she's next to the wheelchair or not, but I think she's in the nearby area. I think she got. I'm pretty sure she got blown up.
Oh, dude, damn.
You know. To be fair, we weren't really doing.
That's your only live action appearance.
On the big screen, yes. There's a chance she was in Smallville, but I'm not sure.
Oh man. Okay.
I want to say, actually, you know what? Here's the thing. So Eve Tessmacher was in the Supergirl show, and here's the thing. We had Otis, traditionally Otis Berg, all that kind of. Otis did make the cut in Supergirl as well, and they did a pretty good job with him. And he was related, I want to say, to Mercy. He was either related to Mercy or Miss Tessmacher, so he's related to one of them. I don't know if that was Mercy or not, but I think she's made the cut on the small screen, but I'm saying it's few and far between. But it's kind of a shame because she's a great foil for Lex, as we kind of established.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, obviously we'll talk about her like in the episode, but like just it's kind of like a general thesis for my feelings. Like a couple episodes in with her, I really like how it's pretty obvious. Like as far as just like a blueprint for a character, it's kind of like, okay, like we want to give Lex like a Harley Quinn type. But I like that she's so different from Harley Quinn. Like, she's much more capable. If anything, I almost kind of feel like she's the one that almost has, like, she's almost kind of like manipulating Lex to a certain degree.
I mean, I think it's a little bit more. We'll get into this with another episode, which we still need to discover how we're going to cover it. But let's just say in World's Finest, it's very much distilled down to, is Mercy versus Harley Quinn. And the kind of the dichotomy there is like, these are women that are very much molded and kind of shaped by the person they've attached themselves to. And the reflection of that would be, Harley, obviously, bat crap crazy.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that she's just way more capable than Harley Quinn. She's way like Harley Quinn is obviously just like, kind of like a mirror image of the Joker in a lot of ways. And whereas I really like that she's very much her own person, but obviously she's still very loyal to Lex. We get a pretty compelling backstory for her.
I would argue she's very capable like Lex in that respect. It is kind of like Joker and Harley in that he built her to be like the most capable valet possible. She's the alpha of the valets.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is that there's not really that level of kind of like domestic abuse and gaslighting going on where
we do see there is a twist to the dynamic by the end of this episode that we do see. Like there's the whole straight kind of thing with her, but we'll get there. Sure. But no, I hear you though. It's definitely there's something very unique about that doesn't just feel like a rehash of Harley, which is key. Anyway, so that's the thing. So she's it says something about Lex, and but in this episode, there's something to kind of flesh her out and to say something about like how. So that's mainly it's an episode to kind of flesh out Lex via Mercy. And that's kind of what the episode's design purpose is. So I will say one more thing. So retroactively, this episode in the history of the DCU became very important, unexpectedly. That's one of the reasons. Additionally, for this being a really good episode, because that's the thing is the DCU went on. Superman the Animated Series, it's not that it never got the credit it deserved, but it was always a thing where there was like so many gems from Superman the Animated Series. And you had your big standout episodes, which had, ripple effect to get called back to and very much for the blueprint for, Justice League and JLU, etc. But a lot of that is just due to they were looking for stories. Oh man, we got to let's look at Batman things are very much tied into just kind of being mini movies that can exist on their own and build Batman's continuity, but we can't really tie those into Justice League. Superman, though, treasure trove of things we can kind of draw back from, or at least give us an idea of like what not to do and what to do. And with that in mind, it's like they took a Brainiac bit from this episode, and JLU years later, it's like, hey, this is how we get our big Brainiac reveal in there. We harken back to we literally played the clip from this episode, and it works.
Sure.
Anyway. Let's get into it.
Okay. All right. So we're starting off with a demonstration of, let's see, what is it? Like some sort of like nuclear defense system or something?
Yeah, so it's the big Lex Corp presentation. It's a weapons demonstration for Lex's friends at the Pentagon. We have a little tender Mercy and Lex bit where we see that he really does trust her, and well, what would you do without me, Lex? And Lex has this kind of a little bit of menacing lines. Let's pray we never find out. It's like a compliment, but it's also a bit of a threat when it comes from Lex too. Like let's hope that doesn't come to that, Mercy. Anyway, I love this detail, by the way, real quick before we get to the weapon itself. I love like the little white. She picks the little white hair off his suit.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so this is the Sky Sentry, the Lex Corp Sky Sentry. Now, essentially, what this does is it's a missile defense system that uses an EMP to take out missiles. That it takes out missile guidance systems. So basically, if a missile's being launched, it fires the EMP, and then basically it'll break down like fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like it fries the guidance system, so the missile doesn't know where to hit, so it just kind of like peters out.
Mm-hmm.
So Clark Kent's worried about this demonstration, especially the way Lex tested, because basically, I've just launched a missile at us right now.
He essentially pulls an Iron Giant.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This episode, looking back on this episode, I already knew this episode was good. I forgot it was like even better than I remembered. Like, oh my god, Lex just fired the missile at them as like a power
right,
and
right.
So I knew the thing went wrong. I forgot exactly how it went wrong. I thought there was like an attack or something. He's like, well, no, he launched it on himself. Launched it on himself. It's crazy. So we have the malfunction.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said we had like the weapons malfunctions, a big problem, which looks like a job for Superman.
Dude, so I was gonna say, like, I think this is probably one of my favorite like Superman springs into action moments in the show so far. I just love how immediately it's like you just see Clark and you see his and he just kind of like quickly just slips off to the side, and then all of a sudden like it's just very, very well timed,
Yeah. So really cool TMS Superman animation, how he like redirects the missiles, by the way, like shoves them aside a little bit, just enough so they don't hit and they land in the water, which is great.
So the big thing with the animation, I think that this episode really like excels in is the physics and the weight of stuff. Would you agree with that?
Oh, of course, and you have to.
There's multiple set pieces where like the actual like physics of what Superman is trying to do and how heavy stuff is just really, really, it's pulled off just very well, just very vividly well.
We're not going to get to it for a while, but there's a scene in this episode that feels pulled right out of The Incredibles in terms of like the physics and the superhero lot.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Feels pulled right out of The Incredibles, even though it's impossible, but I loved it.
Hey, the time travel could happen.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We have pin particles.
You never know.
It's doable. I mean, they're selling it with the D23 right now. They're pin particles. It's a thing.
Right, exactly.
I mean, they sell it at the Avengers Campus, too.
Isn't the Marvel presentation literally going on, like, as we speak?
As we speak, Tiki.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Okay, anyways.
Right. Okay, so Lex... understandably upset. Things have not gone well, but I mean, he did launch missiles at himself. So I mean, I don't know what exactly he expected there if things did go wrong. But anyway,
Terrence Fletcher is like, "Say you're upset, Lex." I'm upset. Say it louder. I'm upset. Louder. I'm upset. Sorry.
Apologies for the snow in the audio there, folks.
Wait, is there an audio issue?
No. I mean, if you yell like that, there's going to be.
Oh, my bad. Dragon, I have a stand-up routine where I literally do, like, John Bernthal, like, fucking going crazy about the Trojan horse, and I don't even use the microphone, so it's like, yeah, I've been projecting my voice a lot recently.
Yeah.
Piss and shit, Spider-Man! Piss and shit! Anyways.
God. All right. Okay, anyway. Jeez. So Lex is
featured set at Iron Ox Brewery next Thursday, August 20th. Anyways,
folks, I apologize for my shill of a co-host here. This podcast is actually brought to you by Anubis Food Markets. Food so good you can eat it. A division of Osiris Foods. That's how you do an ad. So Lex is upset. He says he wants everything offline and put in Sector 6, which is going to be important later. Lois, I love this. Instantly, Lois stirs the pot. Is like Lex is just trying to leave, and it says like, "So Lex, premature product launch."
Lois doesn't have like a ton in this episode, but every line she has is just gold.
Oh yeah. So, because of this, all the reporters swarm Lex. He's very upset. He knows the press is going to hound him over this fiasco because it was pretty bad.
Mhm.
Mercy, she tries to reassure him, like, Lex, it wasn't your fault. It's going to be okay. And she offers to look into it and investigate. But says, no, I'm gonna investigate myself firsthand. He doesn't trust anyone right now. He wants to be by himself. So he's going off to investigate it first. Here's the thing I love about Lex, and this again, we've already had bits and pieces of DCAU Lex just getting more and more interesting every time we see him. But this is a big one for him. This is a big Lex episode, and the fact that it's the way I've always read Lex and the way in the DCU, because when we get the Justice League, they have to change him up so we don't just do more Superman the Animated Series Lex. Not that was bad, not that we lose that, but historically Lex Luthor, he's gone from mad scientist to businessman. The businessman was an advent of the '80s and the reinvention, which is was kind of the blueprint for Superman the Animated Series to a degree. To a degree. Anyway, with that in mind, it's like we have business Lex, but I like that deep down business Lex, he had to earn his capital somehow, so he was a very competent inventor. He's the genius that he had to earn that title. He's smart beyond the business savvy, and with that, it's like he's getting his hands dirty, looking into it himself, but only if he has to, only because he doesn't trust anyone else to do as good a job as him. And down the line, then we go back to kind of mad scientists like Legion of Doom wearing the purple and green Lex, but just kind of cool to see the shades of it here. It's like that is in Lex this whole time, kind of a thing.
Sure.
All right,
Also,
so Clark
Dragon,
Kent.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about this. I'm so fucking sorry about this.
No, what?
So he goes back to I can't resist. He goes back to his fucking little secret lair, and Robin Williams is there, and Robin Williams is like, but Lex, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, Lex. It's not your fault. All right, Dragon, I had to get it out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways.
Right, anyway, thanks, Shaky.
Oh, you see what? Comedy has fucking rotted my brain, dude.
Yeah, yes, it has. You can't just imagine him wearing a plaid sport coat on the stage, kids. Can't you just imagine it? What's the deal with pop culture? Why is it pop?
Why does it pop? I like that. Anyways.
I thought the bubble burst. All right, so we're just going to move on. So anyway. Okay, the point being, Clark Kent, he's in his sweet red car, which it's kind of a rare thing we do. So we see Clark in the futuristic sports car driving around. This is kind of a toyetic thing as well. They did sell Clark Kent in the sports car.
Oh, really? Nice.
I think
I'm just gonna call it right now. I think this is hands down the best Clark Kent scene ever in this series.
Yeah,
Dragon. I live for sassy Clark Kent, dude. I live for sassy Clark Kent.
Yeah. So this is a great scene. He's talking to Lois on the phone while he's driving like a boss. Mm-hmm. So we have this thing where Clark Kent suspects foul play. Who would want to destroy? Who would want to destroy Lex Luthor?
Mm-hmm.
That he shoots her the look. Sorry, that's Lois is who would want to destroy Lex? Who would want to destroy Luthor? He gives her that look. Well, who's crazy enough to try?
That's good. Yeah.
Very funny. All right, so so later at night, Lex he's going over the files and the code and everything, and he's trying to see what sabotage might have occurred, and he gets a cryptic tip off that he should go to Sector 6 to find out. That the answers await him there. He tries to trace the source of this little tip, but it gets blocked. So he ends up having to go to Sector 6 to get his hands dirty. Mm-hmm. And that's when we reveal Brainiac's back. So, Lex is like, other ways to get my attention, aside from the whole missile demonstration gone awry, is always email.
Said back when email was the cutting edge new thing.
Still around though. He still could email.
Yeah, it's still around, but I feel like at this point email is kind of the third option outside of texting and social media.
Yeah. So Brainiac basically has these Lex Corp drones that I like to call the Robo Crabs. Has the Robo Crabs.
I mean, speaking of toyetic, Robo Crabs, yes.
Also, again, just given the fact that who voices Lex Luthor,
Of course,
appropriate.
yeah.
It's beep boop 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 bop.
Hey, Lex, what's your favorite thing in the world? Money.
I'm Lex Luthor, and I like money.
All right. Anyways.
Okay, anyway, so he has these Brainiac. Basically, he's in Sector 6, which is where a lot of like kind of the technology gets housed at the Lex Corp, and he's basically gotten his circuits on it. And he's basically reprogrammed the drones to repair his body, basically build him a new robotic shell. When Brainiac got destroyed in his encounter with Superman, he basically downloaded his code into the computers of Lex Corp, and that's basically how he's like kind of Trojan horsed his way into the building and has been secretly rebuilding his body. At this juncture, like the drones have done the heavy lifting, but to get the finesse, get all like the little bells and whistles on him, he needs Lex. He needs a human hand that knows what they're doing, and of course that would be his former colleague, Lex Luthor. He says, "Thanks for the compliment. I already have a day job." So then we have basically an industrial sized version of the dummy from the first Iron Man movie. Basically, a big kind of like Robo hand is preventing Lex from leaving along with all the little Robo crabs. And we have like the logical argument here of like, again, I love that Lexus fires into this again, trying to hold all the cards and trying to be in control here. It's just like, I'm the head of the largest multinational corporation. Someone's going to notice I'm missing. And Corey Burton, man, I love me Corey Burton's Brainiac.
I forgot it was Corey Burton.
He is. He's a
fucking chameleon when it comes to voice acting, man.
He can be, yeah, of course. So, of all the Corey Burton roles, I mean, it's in my top. I always loved his take on Brainiac. It was because again, it's like the fact that later on there's like this bit of Brainiac smiles. It's like it's something only this Brainiac could do. Only like that Corey Burton could bring about. It's like the Mr. Freeze approach, where it's like the humanity within the very robotic, kind of like monotone emotion, kind of performance, which he can somehow bring out. Where like Brainiac, he's all cold logic and computer science, but by the same token, though. He does relish in the evil deeds now and again. You can kind of sense it, where he says, "No one's irreplaceable."
Totally.
Which is just great. Which, by the way, just with Brainiac on the brain right now, my adventures.
Dude, I know. I need to get to it. Literally, when I went to watch this episode, a trailer came up on Max, and I was like, no, I know.
There was a big Brainiac thing this season. It was
nice.
It was so good.
Oh, I need to check it out, Dragon. I need to check it out for sure.
It's like a thing with Brainiac I've never seen before. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, anyway, so no one's irreplaceable. So then we have this really
Brainiac in that show, Michael goddamn Emerson.
I know, that's what I'm saying, man.
You still should fucking watch Lost. I'm just for the Michael Emerson of it all.
Well, for the Michael Emerson, you should watch Evil.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's Emerson for days. Plus, it's not just Emerson, Tiki. It's Emerson as one of your favorite roles ever.
What?
The little creep.
Oh, the weird little creep, yes.
Yeah, he plays a weird little creep.
To be fair, Dragon, his role in Lost is very much weird little creep as well.
Take my word for it.
I literally don't think the man is capable of playing anything but that.
Trust me, this is weird little creep on steroids, Tiki.
No, weird little creep on steroids is basically any Robert Pattinson performance recently.
Anyway. Okay, so we have this. I like with Brainiac, the way we visualize Brainiac in the episode is actually it's a really streamlined way because it's like code and computer programming and all that. It's a very like wireframe approach to Brainiac, like old school computer animation, like before you build the CG model kind of stuff, like like the wireframe. That's kind of how we basically, as you kind of see in our image here, it's basically the wireframe approach on Brainiac. Very simplistic, kind of two-dimensional kind of look. But also he then creates essentially an AI Lex using the wireframe kind of approach with the animation, which is really cool, really old school, yet so relevant, sadly.
Very ahead of its time. Yeah. Very, very culturally relevant right now.
Yep. So AI Lex tells Mercy he's busy, no appointments, basically making her think that he's held up in his office this whole time and just no one bother him. So Lex is in shock. He's now a prisoner in very much kind of an Iron Man 1
Okay, can I just
situation.
say I absolutely fucking adore the design of like disheveled Lex with like the 5 o'clock shadow and stuff. It's
Oh, it's
such
great.
a good. I've never seen Lex Luthor look quite like that, and it's such an inspired choice.
So Act Two of this episode is gangbusters, man. I
Mhm.
love Act Two of this episode. So Act Two, so basically we go from like he's imprisoned and he's in an Iron Man situation. He's like building, the cave with a box of scraps kind of mode with Lex.
In a
So
cave with a box of scraps.
yep. Now, what would Obadiah Stane have done if he were in that cave with a box of scraps? That's what I want to know. I don't think he would have had the imagination to build an iron suit, Tiki, but that's just me.
I think you're right. I think that checks out.
Yeah. Okay, so Lex, we go back to kind of Lex the inventor again, who he is kind of deep down under the business suit, which is like a great, he's lost the jacket. We see him wearing the vest and everything. But you're right, he's very disheveled. He's getting his hands dirty. Lex is he's slowing down. He's kind of catches breath a little. He's been working day and night. He's got some stubble going on here, and Brainiac's like, "Why are you slowing down?" He says, "I'm not a." I love Lex's instant move, by the way. And this is always the great thing that Clancy Brown did with his Lex performance is that his Lex Luthor was like a thug who like worked. He was like a blue collar guy at some point, like maybe in like kind of the hands on kind of like inventing kind of thing. This guy is he's very thuggish in terms of how explosive his temper can be. He throws the chair, he lobs the chair at like the computer screen. He's just so angry because I'm not a machine. I need food, I need rest. Well, rest is not in the equation, buddy. If you want food, and he sends one of the Robo Crabs to this vending machine and just like breaks the vending machine. All like the candy bars pour out. And Lexi's so starved at this point. Money. This is the best part of the whole episode, Tiki. Like Lex, he goes to the vending machine. He so undignified compared to what Lex is used to. He rips open the candy bars like crunch, chowing down. Then he sees his reflection. Tiki sees his reflection
Mhm, mhm.
in like
I'm
the
actually a
broken
little
metal.
surprised you didn't pick this as a thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie. I
I
mean, I
did.
guess I get it because you want to have Brainiac in there too, but it's a very striking image.
Let me ask you this: did you get options when this image was sent, or did you just get the one?
Nope.
Well, it was. I sent out. I had our thumbnail maker decide between the images, and this he felt this one looked best. So
Okay. Hey,
it
no
was it
problem.
was it was submitted though. And if somebody would watch the episodes beforehand, maybe you could have voted on it. But
Well, you know my logic for why I don't.
yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, the point being, the candy bar bit is great. Just Lex is so down in the dumps. The fact that he can't bear to look at his.
I don't think I've ever seen Lex Luthor so pathetic in any kind of media as that moment, honestly.
It's pretty great, right?
Hmm.
Just again, like the bit that kills me is he can't bear to look at himself in the mirror. As
Hmm.
he looks
Hmm.
away while it's kind of karma though for all the bad stuff that Lex has done though.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I do think this episode, like, I don't want to go as far as to say you're sympathetic for him, but like it humanizes him. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Anyways,
Clark,
Dragon, I think we should get too ahead of ourselves. Like, I think we should shout out some comments, but let's. Are we at a scene break?
yeah,
Okay, cool. Okay, so Kogios is saying between the animated series and My Adventures with Superman, Brainiac is often the coolest Superman villain in cartoon shows. Yeah, agreed. I would wager to say, Dragon, like, like if James Gunn knows what he's doing, I think Brainiac is just kind of like a no pun intended on this, a no brainer when it comes to the villain for Superman 2.
yeah.
All right. We have Eli of Little Boo Predictions. He's saying to think that we would have had Robin Williams as the Riddler or Joker. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, Dragon, because I remember back in the day, back with the Heath Ledger thing. When we were all wondering who was going to be the Joker, Robin Williams was absolutely my pick. And I didn't know much about Nolan, but I did know that Robin Williams played the villain in Insomnia, a movie which to this day I don't think I've actually seen.
Well, Tiki, you've seen Insomnia.
Have I?
Tiki, we did it for the Nolan thing. We talked about the movie. You watched the movie. We talked about Insomnia.
Oh my god, dude! I'm like so I literally I fucking that movie went in one ear out the other for me. Apparently, then it did not leave an impact.
It was good.
I genuinely don't remember even watching it.
All right.
Don't smoke weed, kids. I don't smoke nearly as much weed as I used to, and it still fucks me up.
Hey, you also turn to this Joker here.
Right.
Playing with a horsey on stage.
That's why I get paid the big bucks, Dragon.
Yep. Oh, comedy cowboy. Look at me. Woo.
Hey there, partner.
Toss the coins in the hat. Right there. There you go. I'll bake him with the yucks.
Okay, can I tell you one thing that I do with the Trojan horse that I think I'm personally kind of
could I convince you not to?
Sure.
All right, well, what do you do with the horse?
Okay. So I have the whole bit about like Bernthal fucking like we were in that horse for 2 weeks, Spider-Man. But it's like basically what I do is I take the whole like and we started pissing and we started shitting. And I basically turned that into a whole comedy bit. So it's like essentially the idea is that like they wheel the Trojan horse through the gates of Troy up to Ithaca's courtyard, and they hoist the Trojan horse like vertically upwards, and then all the piss and shit came spewing out. And where did the piss and shit spew out from, Spider-Man? And then I opened the fucking little compartment on the popcorn bucket. There! Right fucking there! I don't know. I think it's pretty funny. Anyways. Okay. God, you were a fucking... I don't think you've ever actually fucking laughed at any of my fucking stand-up bits.
Well, man, have they been hilarious?
It gets a really good response from audiences, so I don't know.
Well, it would be really mean-spirited if no one gave you a laugh while you were on stage, though. Just, you know.
Oh no! Well, okay. First of all, we're getting into the weeds of the stand-up industry.
Yeah, come on, let's.
Like people getting no laughs at a set is not a rare thing, dude. Like like people don't just give out laughs for free, and like especially when you're seeing the same like 20 people 3 times a week do their shit. You know,
there's nothing sadder than a prop comic who doesn't get a laugh, though.
Anyways,
I mean, Carrot Top in his career, he had to at least have gotten one pity laugh. You know, he had to. Just like he went to all this effort, he brought all the big props.
Biggest residency for like 2 decades. He might have gotten at least one pity laugh over the years.
So here's the thing, okay? Anytime a prop comic bombs, well, you need to have like the sad Hulk music play because they have to gather all the stuff slowly. Everyone's gonna be like in tears, like he wasn't that funny, but it's the most dramatic exit I've ever seen.
All right, anyways. Oh shit. Kogios says, I wonder if Clancy Brown voicing the greedy businessman Lex Luthor so well is why he got the role of Mr. Krabs. Do you have any idea if that had anything to do with it, Dragon?
Well, I mean, I think it's more coincidental, but I mean, one didn't have anything to do with the other. It's just kind of a fun, it's kind of a fun connection between them.
Uh-huh. Okay,
but I mean, again, he has to pull it from somewhere. So I mean, like, okay, here's a rich guy, but in this case, Mr. Krabs is not rich. He's greedy and wants to be rich. So I think that's the difference.
Sure. Okay, just a few more. Kogias says, Brainiac was my introduction to Corey Burden. You know what my introduction to Corey Burden was?
What was
it? I'm sure it probably wasn't like the first thing that I saw him in, but it was the first time I actually like registered the name. The Rod Serling stuff from the Tower of Terror pre-show.
Right.
That's the first time I heard the name Corey Burden. Anyways, let's see. Lex Luthor probably wants his bowl of Jolly Ranchers. Oh god.
Yeah, he does.
And then finally, I think that Tiki has a good amount of funny jokes. You see,
Oh,
Dragon,
you
I have at least one fan. I
just
have at least
the
one
fact that you
person
had to
who
throw
orders
that on,
that
the fact that you the ego on you, you had to put up like the little pat on the back comment.
All right.
I think Tiki
Anyways,
has some funny jokes. You know, it's like just one out of
please,
like
sir,
almost like a
will you laugh at my jokes?
yeah, how Dickensian.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you a Pokemon joke for a shilling. Ah, I gotcha, motherfucker. Anyways,
Hey
all
Tiki,
right, moving
guess
on, moving
what?
on. I'm sorry, that was
Guess
a
what?
total what?
Pity. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, is this now? Do we get to the scene of Clark going to Lex Corp?
That's right.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit. You probably figured this out, but the scene in the car, it's a good Lois scene for sure, but this is my favorite Clark Kent scene so far in this series, dude. This is some top tier Clark Kent stuff.
Love it. I know I'm with you. So Clark's at Lex Corp, and he's told that Lex is not giving any meetings. He uses the X-ray vision very slyly. See, Lex is not in the office at
I
all.
love
So
that. I love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love it when he uses the X-ray vision in a clever way like that. It's
And
like this thing
I just
that
love how proactive he's being as a reporter and how like because what I really love about this is that he's not being like meek and meager Clark Kent, but at the same time you buy him as Clark Kent. It's not Clark Kent, it's not Superman in the Clark Kent getup acting as Superman. It is Clark Kent, but he's just in like really serious journalism mode. Like it's really good difference, and I absolutely think this is like Tim Daly is just fucking tearing it up with his performance here in this scene.
yeah. So Clark, really cleverly threatens a report of the potential sabotage at Lex Corp. He's going to write it up, and he's sure, like when he speaks to his friends at the Pentagon, or basically when the article hits, it's going to spook Lex's friends at the Pentagon. He basically is giving him a chance to avoid that. So Mercy, she tries to interrupt Lex, calls him, Lex, we got a reporter here. I think you should talk to him. And of course, we have the pre-recorded line. And again, Clark knows for a fact he's not in that office right now.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that something's up, so he's got to expose this to Mercy. So clever. Again, this is like where we use like the Clark Kent bumbling, but we use it very competently here. Where he's more like dogged reporter, like George Reeves Clark Kent. Where Clark very slyly he gets past Mercy. Oh, the fact that Mercy's like she takes a swing at him and he dodges him. He's not that because if he takes the hit, she's going to hurt her hand and she's going to know something's up.
Exactly.
So he dodges it and he opens the door to reveal Lex isn't there. What are you trying to pull? Like Lex isn't here. It's a clever way of getting people to look for Lex, and then he the proof in the pudding here. Cup of coffee, ice cold. This coffee's ice cold. He's been gone for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Mercy is concerned.
I'm
Call me
another cup of coffee.
Yeah. So, anyway, so point being, we have this bit here where it's just like, call me when your Lord and Master shows up. Would you get a little snarky Clark?
Daily fucking Tim.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
That's good. Yeah, I think it. Probably, yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Again, if you could do it with a look, though, that earlier scene, though, that look kind of did it, though. That's not a line, so it doesn't count.
Mm.
All right. So, anyway, so after this, okay, this is great. So Lex is watching this unfold, by the way. So he now knows that Mercy has the scent, and he has faith in Mercy here. So, okay, this is good between Clark Kent, even though he's not Clark Kent's biggest fan. It's like, Clark Kent, this is good for me. So good news for Lex until Brainiac finds, like this threat can be easily eliminated. It's like, oh boy. So okay, there's one of my favorite scenes of the whole episode. Okay, so Clark Kent, we're at his apartment. Lois speculates that Mercy likes Lex with, just kind of a thing that, like, oh, man, Smallville, you gotta get out more. Like, someone's got to explain these things to you, Smallville kind of thing. Brainiac calls. I love how this feels like a bit from the 40s, but it's done like in the modern era. So, like, Brainiac calls. Is this Clark Kent? Yes. Hello? Just hangs up.
Mm-hmm.
Eerie.
Yeah,
and
really
then
cool.
He
Yeah.
hears the whistling missile like heading at. He just catches it. It goes through like the open window, catches it in one hand. It's like the fire train, like the little the booster rocket in the missile, like it goes out because he just had the force of super. This is where the physics come into it, man. It's awesome.
Oh,
Like
absolutely. The physics in this scene are goddamn immaculate.
this is where we go full Incredibles, and I love every second of it.
Uh-huh.
Like the missile goes out, but again, the bomb's still there. It's like it's about to go off. So he flies out as Clark Kent. He flies out as fast as he can. But again, the thing just blows up. The outfit is destroyed. He's full on Superman because he's wearing it under the clothes. And then Superman, he has a bridge because he got caught up in the explosion. This is where we go full Incredibles, like when he got hit by the train in the Incredibles. The bridge collapses, and Superman has to basically using all the debris from the bridge. Use a big piece of bridge to slow the fall and catch the other pieces of bridge on the way down. TMS, baby, TMS. Give me the coffee mug right now. TMS. So just I live for this kind of stuff. Anyway, so then he slows us down right before it hits because he can only slow it down so much. It's right. There's a little, just
here's the thing, Dragon. Like, I'm not really an action guy, right? Like, and I gotta say, like, obviously the character stuff in this episode is great, but genuinely the action in this episode is fantastic.
Yeah, darn right it is. So Mercy, she's checking the security footage, and while she's doing that, and she's basically hit on like Sector 6, the drones try to kill her, and she takes him out with the chair with a really great snarky line here, saying, "Have a seat, guys. I'm out of here." Just like as she tosses, I get a lot of chair tossing, which if we learn anything from wrestling, always go with the chair hit.
Mm-hmm.
So she tries to leave, but she's outnumbered by all these kind of robo crabs, and Superman arrives, a little team up happens here, and he's using his heat vision to melt him, which again, with that TMS animation, freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's desperate because Superman doesn't like using that heat vision, so he's melting him because he has to. Thankfully, the robots.
Sure.
All right, so Act 3. Let's see. So reluctantly, Mercy loops Superman in on what's going on because she knows he's person non grata around Lex Corp, but they don't really have a choice here. They team up to find Lex. Lex admits, begrudgingly as well, while he's working on Brainiac, his admiration for how advanced Brainiac's circuits are. Because yeah, there was an intrigue in Brainiac, especially learning just how technologically based he really is.
Mm-hmm.
So Brainiac's cold logic here gives away his. Again, I love this is always Brainiac's undoing. Just the cold logic and lack of humanity will always be his undoing, which is why he's a great foil for Superman. And in this case, Lex, where he basically says like, basically makes it very clear to Lex that he plans to kill Lex after this is all done. Like, I'm glad you appreciate it before it's too late, essentially, or something like that. And Lex points out again, he's still working on it. He hasn't finished it yet. He points out, well, you can't kill me until I finish the job, and I'll rot before helping you anymore. So they've seemingly reached an impasse, but then we get that Brainiac bit, we get that Corey Burton magic here. The timing on with the TMS animation as well here. The timing on this kills me, how perfect it is, okay? After Lex gets up, he's not going to help him anymore, he's not going to finish the job. Each little screen, because Brainiac's like the head, the torso, the legs, it goes out, like each little screen goes out, but you'll notice like his head turns a little bit, like he's looking at Lex walk off, and it's so creepy. It's like the little monitors go out, and that's the monitors go out as he's downloading himself. He's downloading himself into the robot body. He's uploading himself, and he rises up like a monster movie, like Frankenstein almost. He says, with that Corey Burton smile, I believe I can take it from here. God, I love it. So Lex runs, he gets hit by the blast. Now, again, here's where the JLU comes in here, okay? So Lex runs, gets hit by a blast that, for all intents and purposes, should have killed him. Didn't. Plot convenience, maybe, because we don't want to kill Lex. At the time, yes. Years later, we went back. Brainiac embedded his consciousness in Lex here, shot like a little nanite into him with that blast.
Uh-huh.
That's why he didn't die.
Nice.
And that's basically how Brainiac was able to reconstitute himself after Twilight, after everything that happened, because he was in Lex this whole time from that point, which was always so awesome about the finale of season 1 of JLU. Cadmus stuff. All right. Superman and Mercy, they have a little conversation here. Really insightful conversation. So Superman's asking the question. I think the audience is wondering at a certain point, like, Mercy, why are you an interesting character? No, he asks, Mercy, why are you willing to risk your life for Lex? What does he have on you? She reveals, well, no, he doesn't have anything on me. And we get the backstory on Mercy, which I guess the long story short, she lived on the streets. Lex took her in and made her what she is today. So that's where the loyalty comes in there. They're very much joined at the hip. She's got a lot of gratitude towards Lex, and is an example to Superman that he cannot disprove of that. Lex has at least done one nice thing in his life. He helped this lady.
Now, Dragon, I will say, like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of doubtful that we're going to see that in a flashback, but that would make a really good episode.
Oh, I agree. And you're right. We're not going to see it, but it would have been good.
That would have been a good episode if they would have gone there. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. So we have this. Oh, here's the Daily Tim contender. Okay. It doesn't beat the earlier one, but this is kind of neat, though. Mercy's, oh man, the door's not opening. And Superman with that. If that's the Clark Kent Daily Tim, this is the Superman Daily Tim. I think I may be able to help with that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for sure. For sure.
Yeah. All right, so
the only reason it's a great line, it's a great delivery. The only reason I think that it doesn't eclipse the other line is because you kind of have to have like the visual of him knocking the door down too. That's kind of like a part of it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. So they find Lex. Brainiac has, Brainiac is rebuilt. He greets Superman. Of course, Superman's very surprised to find that's Brainiac. Superman battles Brainiac, and while that's going on, we have our Lex and Mercy stuff here. Lex, again, he's very injured. He's like tells Mercy, stop him, which leads to her getting involved. She gets knocked out for a bit there. So again, Superman versus Brainiac. Lex, I love the detail in the animation here. Lex almost gets crushed in the fight because everything's coming down around him during this fight, like a little R&D equipment almost like falls and crushes Lex. Superman has to save him at the last second, which is great. Let's see. So we have the. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Sorry. This. I think I jumped the gun earlier when I said the Brainiac smile. This is actually where the Brainiac smile happens. Sorry, this is where it happens. Where he basically, I calculated we'd meet again, Kal-El. I've made improvements, and he smiles. See that right there? That's Corey Burton. That's what he brings. As much as I love Michael Emerson's Brainiac in My Adventure Superman, that's what the Corey Burton one does, and no other Brainiac ever does. It's like that little evil, that little mean smile, just as because again, he and Superman just have that personal history of like Jor-El being the link there, and the fact that this guy is responsible for Krypton blowing up, and basically not Krypton blowing up. He's responsible for everyone dying on Krypton, which is what really sticks in Superman's crawl. He hates Brainiac, and just that little, just the fact that you're not the only survivor of Krypton. It's me too, and I'm the reason we're the only survivors. Always like that little hateful little smile in him,
Right.
So he zaps Superman and makes the fight a little bit more even than last. Because last time around, when Superman found out Brainiac was up to no good, he took him out pretty easily. So the idea is now Brainiac, thanks to Lex, he has made improvements and he can actually go toe to toe with Superman a little more easily. So like he's flying around kind of like Superman. He's gonna give him what for. So yeah. So that's going on. Mercy calls out Superman this great idea of like, Superman, the Sky Sentry. It's a bit of a buy that Superman knows how to work the controls on this thing, but look.
We don't care.
Yeah, but you know what else? It's kind of, I think, Jerry Seinfeld, a proper comedian. So Jerry Seinfeld said once, super tough, supervision, maybe super smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so fires at Brainiac. The EMP thing basically magnetizes him. So the whole lab, everything is like magnetizing, around Brainiac. He's become a living magnet. Superman stops a beam from crushing Lex. They evacuate, of course, while he's still holding the beam from the whole place going down. Big moment of the episode. Mercy leads the way. And she gets trapped under the equipment. Stuff falls on her. And we have a bit where Lex absolutely sees this. He stops, he looks back, and what does he do, Tiki?
You tell me.
He leaves. He just leaves without hesitation. He saves his own skin. He climbs the ladder, leaves Mercy to die, and he sees all the fact they made eye contact. He saw
So
this.
one could say that Lex has no mercy for Mercy.
You're right about that, Tiki. You're darn right.
And that's why I said you tell me, because I wanted to set up that line.
Yeah. All right, so I love that Superman he's genuine. You can kind of see Superman's stunned by this, like, oh my god, Lex, really?
Like, even for you, Lex, that's cold, dude.
It's like, God, I mean, I'm holding up everything, and you couldn't just save Mercy. I mean, she saved your. Oh, come on. So Superman, he's stunned for a second. He saves Mercy right before the whole lab gets torn asunder by the magnetic field, and then we have our aftermath. So in the aftermath, Lex, he hasn't learned anything from this episode at all, but that's Lex for you. He doesn't have to learn anything. He can buy his lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Says he wants the tech boys to analyze every circuit of Brainiac. Superman shows up and suggests, that kind of thing's usually left to the military. And then Lex is pulling out the legalese here, like, hey, the military has no claim on Brainiac. Every single one of his parts, thanks to the rebuilding effort here, is Lex Corp property. So if you'll excuse me, I have a charity benefit to attend. It's like, oh, Lex, he's going to a charity. Oh, that's not gracious at all, Lex. Ooh. So then we have the final bittersweet note of the episode, where, I love this. He goes, the limo pulls up. He's just, I'm waiting. It's so insulting. I'm waiting, and Mercy comes out. She opens the door for him, and it's just that glance. The glance between her and Superman like guts me to my core, man. Just that look between them.
But that right there, dude, I feel like is kind of like one of the big things that's like the difference between Harley Quinn and her, is that she's definitely got a self-awareness about how abusive the dynamic is.
You're right about that. That is the difference, though. She's going in eyes wide open. Harley's deluded.
Right.
Now, earlier, I kind of glazed over the line, but earlier she basically said, I'm just, basically she was just a stray. So just a stray was kind of a line that was put forward. And then Superman kind of says to himself, just a stray. It's like basically exactly what she said. He said she's always going to come back to him. And, but knowingly though, I'm going to throw a random, maybe not too random, I'm going to throw a quote at you. Denny O'Neil, one of the greatest Batman writers who ever lived, deeply missed. He had a battle with the bottle, probably through the 80s or something. He had battled some alcoholism, and he always had this great line about his battle with alcoholism, where basically he went to a doctor. He was a young man. A doctor took him aside. He was like at a detox ward or something. I don't recall. He was maybe at risk of an alcohol poisoning one night, partying and whatnot. The point being, he was there and he got kind of shown like either his friend didn't make it or something. And the point being, he's basically given the doctor shows him like, this is why you gotta get off the stuff. And Denny O'Neil always said after that, the best version of that story would be I never touched another drink, but that's not how life works. That's not how the story works. But I never took another drink without knowing. Like that's the thing. Always like,
that's a damn good line, dude. That's a damn good. Wow. That's
why that's the man who basically created Ra's al Ghul right there. That's that's Denny O'Neil right there. Is that line? I never took another drink without knowing, and that's addiction right there. That's but that's kind of
definitely.
Essentially, to paraphrase that a little bit here, it's just kind of like Mercy will go back every time, but she'll never go back without knowing.
For sure.
She knows why. So Superman flies away as he often does, and that's the episode.
Again, Superman flying away at the end of the episode.
Well, I mean, if you have a cape, you got to use it, right? I mean,
it's almost kind of like his cliche is like the Adam Sandler movies ending with him kissing his love interest.
Yep.
Anyways. Okay, so I mean, like, genuinely speaking, Dragon, I think this episode kind of speaks for itself. I don't even really know what else to add here. It's a great, like, the animation is super on point. We have easily some of the best Clark Kent stuff in the series so far, if not like, I mean that scene where he interrogates Lex Corp, that's like up there with some of my all-time favorite Clark Kent stuff in all of media. Honestly, like it's wonderful. We humanize Lex. We develop Brainiac into an even bigger threat. Wonderful animation, awesome action. Mercy gets really fleshed out. I mean, it's just firing on all cylinders. Like 10 out of 10 no notes.
Yeah, this one is in the top 10 somewhere. I don't know where. It's probably more in the top 5 because this is a very much a top tier episode in the animated series. It's very beloved and very justifiably so. And one of the unsung episodes too. Oh, it got prominence years later because of Justly Unlimited, but I don't know. This episode was always really good, and I think people who like watch the show like they're real. They think they kind of made a mental note of it. But there's a lot of stuff that happens, a lot of great villain episodes and introductions for villains. Like a lot of time, the reprise of the villain gets a little unsung. So that's why it kind of fell between the cushions. But when it was found, it was like, oh my god, such a gold nugget of an episode. How lovely,
Right.
It's
Right.
So yeah, this one's always been a favorite of mine. It's not maybe doesn't per se overshadow like the introduction of Brainiac or the introduction of Metallo or the introduction of Kryptonite. Those are always kind of my go-to top 3 somewhere. But this is in there, man. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so big thanks to you wanna read either of these Kogias comments?
I mean, we can.
Okay. So he says Brainiac smiling seems odd considering he's a seemingly motionless character. Part of me wonders if Brainiac's in denial about having some semblance of human-like emotion.
Yeah, absolutely,
for sure. And then I wonder if Mr. Krabs would save SpongeBob if he was in the same situation that Mercy was in this episode, or if he would have just left him behind. I think Mr. Krabs would have saved him. What do you think, Dragon?
Well, it depends. Was SpongeBob waving like $1? Like,
I don't know, man. I think Mr. Krabs has some level of humanity for SpongeBob.
I would like to think so. I mean, here's the thing. I think the early seasons of SpongeBob, absolutely. Later seasons, well.
I mean, to be fair, like it's just kind of like that's just standard, like animation, like cartoon flanderization over time.
Yeah,
it's unfortunately.
I'd like to think
jerk.
I like that even in the good years of SpongeBob, though, you did have like the whole Flying Dutchman thing where he sold SpongeBob's soul for like
oh, that's true. Cents. I forgot about that.
Like 62 cents or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, come to think of it, maybe not. Maybe not. I think you're right. I think it probably would have depended on the financial incentive.
Yeah, but he did regret it right after he had buyer's remorse, had seller's remorse, though.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe.
Okay. All right, that it?
Yeah, so we had Kogias, and did we have anyone else?
Eli popped up briefly.
Right, okay.
Just to say the whole, like, to think we would have had Robin Williams as the Joker.
Right.
All right. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. What's next? What's next on the docket?
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman! Targeted by the son of Darkseid. Superman! In a panic to save Pa Kent on Father's Day. Superman! Encountering the most evil force in the DC universe!
On the next visit to the Fortress of Recaps with Father's Day.
Candy.
Clerk, I'm your non-biological father.